Hello lovely people, I'd like to share my story. I am a 45-year-old man, and my wife is significantly younger than me and is 35 years old. We got married 5 years ago when I was 40 and she was only 30. Because of our age difference, we received criticism from people. People actually tried to end our marriage by planting various ideas in my wife's head and telling her she was making a big mistake by marrying me because we were nearly a decade apart in age. Nevertheless, despite all the odds, my wife and I were able to get married. She was an interior designer and was very active, young, and attractive, and I was a manager at a multinational corporation. I gave my wife financial support so that she could take financial risks in her career. She had just started her career when we got married. So I was the one who was financially secure and spending all of the money, but I never complained because I was content and happy with our life, after a year of marriage. My wife received her first project, and to celebrate, she booked a trip for the two of us to Europe. We thoroughly enjoyed our trip, during which my wife gave me expensive gifts and spent all the money she had earned from her first project on our trip and different gifts. She also bought herself some Victoria's Secret lingerie, which made me very happy. Our marriage was thriving, and since we were always there for one another, people had begun to adore us as a couple. Our only point of disagreement was her desire to avoid having children. She wanted a child-free life, but I wanted children. We discussed this before we got married, but we didn't take it seriously. When I insisted on having at least one child, she persuaded me to wait until she was established in her career. And we both agreed, and she began devoting more time to her career. She was a rigorous workaholic but was also quite active while in bed. She never neglected me and always took care of my emotional and physical requirements. Our 5th anniversary was approaching, so she took a month off from work to plan our 5th anniversary party. So we decided to renovate our home while she was on break. My wife worked on modernizing our bathrooms and bedrooms, and as an interior designer, she assumed full responsibility for making them appear lavish. She hired a professional to provide tiles, she hired a plumber, and she hired a professional carpenter named Jimmy. Jimmy had previously worked with her on different projects and they had known each other for years. All the team that had been working on our house had been coming to our house on a daily basis. My wife was working on designing part of our house. She was providing ideas and instructions to all of her teams each day. I was relieved that I was exempt from participating in all of these activities because I had no interest in the house's design or remodeling, but any time I was at home, her entire staff of plumbers, carpenters, and painters was also present. Jimmy the carpenter was very friendly with me and my wife. He would sit at our dining room table and have tea with us as we discussed everything from politics to sports. He was knowledgeable about everything, and he told me he was still trying to figure out his gender identity and was in a phase of finding himself. Jimmy was very creative and made numerous attempts to flirt with me, but I always turned him down. Jimmy was in his 40s and a very attractive man. I liked him as a friend, but I loathed his every attempt at flirting in front of my wife in my home. My wife would laugh and warn him to stay away. Every time he flirted with me, I felt very uncomfortable, but my wife enjoyed it and regarded it as a joke. Jimmy would make comments about the way I dressed, advise me to wear colorful ties, and he would even offer to knot my tie. My wife had no issues with any of that because she never took it seriously and was impressed by Jimmy's work. He was designing our bathroom's cabinets, kitchen tables, and sofas, so he spent the majority of his time at our house. He respected my wife and assisted her in planning the party for our 5th wedding anniversary. On the evening of our anniversary party, my wife looked absolutely stunning in a black maxi dress and she designed a black suit for me. We didn't invite our house renovation team, but Jimmy was there and gave me an orange tie and assisted me in wearing it. At our party, Jimmy was making everyone laugh and my friends and family enjoyed having him there. He even gave a lovely speech for my wife and me, and at the end of the party, he left with our old male friend. My wife and I were really glad for Jimmy. He had finally found someone for himself. Jimmy had started spending more time with his new love and occasionally came over to our place for work. He was extremely pleased and always complimented his new partner, so I was happy that he had stopped flirting with me. Our new bathrooms were almost ready, and they now resembled the luxurious bathrooms of a five-star hotel. We had paid bonuses to every employee for their dedication to getting the job done right and for delivering the outcomes we requested. My wife's vacation was coming to an end. There were only a few days left before she had to return to work, so I decided to surprise her and made reservations at a restaurant. I didn't tell her about the plans and instead went shopping for a new dress for her. After doing so, I made plans to return home early. We live in a large house with 2 floors. When I got home, no one was on the main floor. Therefore, placed the dress I bought for my wife on the table and loosened my tie, and went upstairs to look for her. She wasn't in our bedroom when I went in. I heard water sounding from our new bathroom. We were eager to enjoy our new shower together, so I decided to join her when I heard the water running. I took off my clothes and entered the bathroom to be with my wife. I yelled and was startled to see my wife and Jimmy inside as soon as I opened the door. And I was shocked to see them together in the shower. They were shocked to see me there, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I gathered my composure and began recording them, but they begged me to stop, and I ignored them. I became so enraged that I started hitting Jimmy and threw him out of my house. I was shocked at how they were making me look stupid behind my back. Jimmy pretended to be my best friend and was flirting with me, but he was secretly involved with my wife. I then smacked my wife and tossed her out as well. She begged me and claimed she made a mistake and was young and wanted to try something new. But I was outraged with her and told her that being young doesn't give you the license to cheat on your spouse. Update: I sent my wife a divorce notice and demanded that she refund the funds I had invested on her behalf in her business. She begs me repeatedly for a second chance. Claims she won't do the same mistake again, and claims she feels ashamed of herself. But I couldn't grant her one since I knew she would make the same mistake again and I don't have the heart to forgive her sin. If she can deceive me once, she can certainly do it again. I don't give a damn about what she said about how returning my money will ruin her career. I gave her stability and support thus. Without it, she couldn't manage her business. She didn't own a home, so she now pays rent for a little flat she lives in and couldn't utilize our newly remodeled house. She has returned half of my money to me and begged me to give her some time. But I keep pressuring her to return the rest of my money. I sent Jimmy's boyfriend a video of him with my wife, and he broke up with me. My wife was having a luxurious life with me, and now she regrets her choice to betray me. She is now living a miserable lifestyle. My wife and her family are constantly pleading with me to pardon her and acknowledge that she made a mistake, but how could I when she deceived me? I've come to understand that she loved the stability I provided more than she loved me. Most marriages can tear apart as a result of home renovations. It can be a true test of a couple's relationship to renovate a home or apartment. However, everything was moving nicely in our situation because we had the resources, the expertise, and the time to complete the renovation. But my wife ended up being a cheater. I appreciate you listening to my story. Please like this story and subscribe to this channel. To grow this channel, we genuinely need your participation. So kindly stay connected and tell your family and friends about this channel. We cherish your presence here. You are all awesome. Have a fantastic day.